This podcast is intended for adults only. We do not condone the use of any illegal substances, and anything we consume is for educational purposes only.
Because, we should be afraid of a plant that grows from the ground. And, endocannabinoid system is, it's in your body and it produces cannabinoids. I mean, you know what? I'm going to stop because I'm going to rant. Just play the music, Mitch.
So I drove 6 states, never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, build an enterprise, move supersize. Y'all lecture like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize. Yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We know how you see in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our songs should have more plays, but we too dope, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up.
You're listening to the Canna Kuyas podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Mitch Narito.
And I am Eric Esteban. And you know what? I should first tell everybody why we've been gone for a couple of weeks. Well, because
there's a lot. And
January has been a lot here in LA.
It's day 67 of January today.
Jesus Christ. Day is 83 of January, feels like. But first, when I was putting my Christmas decorations away in January to make room for the new spring grow, I fell off a ladder and bruised my ribs.
I don't mean to laugh. It's a little funny.
It's a little funny. It's a little funny, but it's also it was fucking painful too. So I fell off a ladder, and then 2 weeks after that, my mom passed away. So we've been out of commission here in LA at the Canna Kuyas. Well, I've been on my end. Mitch has been there for me. He got me, helped me, link me up with the lady who got me my memorial tattoo for my mom. So thank you for that, Mitch. Also shout out to Nick at Cultura Tattoo. She said she would be listening to the podcast after she gave me this tattoo. So hopefully,
where are they at in Long Beach?
They're in Garden Grove.
Garden Grove. All right. Cool.
But they're really great, and I love the tattoo that my that Nick gave me for my mom. But that's kind of why we've been gone.
Yeah,
we have not. I have not. The plants have been my only. They've been my fortress of solitude. The greenhouse has been my fortress of solitude, and the Buddha Lounge. In all of this, like I would limp. With my bruised ribs to water the plants, and I'd still check on them every day, and watch them grow, and we just had a really great harvest of DJ Short blueberry.
It's not all on you too, though, but because we did have the fires.
Yeah, the fires.
And I'm out in Pasadena, and that was pretty close to me.
Yeah, man, you were about to evacuate, right?
Yeah, I was ready to go. Luckily, we didn't have to, but it's still very sobering to.
But seriously, the fires put a lot of shit into perspective for me.
Yeah. Even
in just the shitty month that I'm having.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people having shitty months out here in LA. It's been a tough month out here, but we're still out here, still growing.
Yeah.
Still the greenhouse, those Santa Ana winds, which were blowing all those fires, blew out some of the panels of the greenhouse, and some of the plants got broken branches, but. Other than that, our grow was pretty much untouched by all of that crazy drama, which, again, by the luck of where the wind blows is pretty much how that goes.
No, and that, I think one positive thing about having the grow, and with all the other stuff going on, there has to be some consistency, and having the grow to check up on every day and everything, that's your one thing that keeps you sane. You do something to kind of get your mind off things. We had planned. I had to stop smoking for a little bit because in addition to the fires, because all of the ash and all that crap that was in the air ended up getting me sick. So that laid me out for like a week.
Yeah,
and
you got sick for your week too. So we were
yeah.
Like I said, it was a lot of drama in LA, man. This has been the crazy month.
But Eric was telling me he was trying to smoke with broken ribs, or not bruised ribs, and
it was painful, but I still got
he still managed to do it. See, like I didn't even try. Like for me, luckily I had a bunch of like edibles left over. So but you don't normally do edibles, right?
I don't normally, but that'll kind of bring me to my mom. Because if you've heard the stories of when I told my parents about weed, my mom was like, "Can you get me some?" So I ended up always getting my mom her edibles, and she would, she took edibles on a regular basis every night to help her sleep. But as her cancer progressed, I started listening to the audiobook of the Rebel's Apothecary, and in that book, the doctor used Rick Simpson oil, or concentrated cannabis oil,
RSO.
Yeah, RSO, for her dad, who had basically the same diagnosis as my mom, stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he said, she placed it under his tongue, and his mood changed, and he was able to do things and eat, and appetite. So I'm reading this book, and I'm thinking about my mom, and I'm like, okay, well let's get some RSO from my mom. And in the end, my dad said it was the only medicine that she wanted to take because it was the only stuff that made her feel better. So, cannabis is going to be a part of my life forever, because even for just that, I mean, like, it gave my mom a little bit of comfort in her dying days. So I'll be forever thankful to this plant for that.
Rest in peace. And so like I was just, because like you don't hear Rick Simpson oil like a lot. You see it sometimes when people see like RSO and whatever on products, and like I had to look it up myself, but pretty much so Rick Simpson was a Canadian guy, and in 2003 he created cannabis, like this type of cannabis oil. And he was using it because he suffered from tinnitus. And
well, cannabis has not worked on my tinnitus, but
do you have tinnitus?
Yeah, I have tinnitus bad.
Oh,
yeah, I have really bad tinnitus. Like, I'm probably going to get one of those special hearing aids to drown out the tinnitus.
So you just have a constant ringing?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's been since I can't even remember how long it's been.
No, it's from when you used to do like work for concerts. Yeah. Oh,
so it fucked my hearing all up.
Interesting. So Rick,
protect your ears, kids.
Yeah. Definitely. It also says RSO, like Rick Simpson oil, is also called Phoenix Tears.
Phoenix Tears.
Because I guess
wow.
like the
Well, what I will say is that it was some of my final connections with my mom was able to administer it under her tongue, because it was, that's the fastest point of absorption.
Was it straight up oil, or is it like a tincture?
It was a tincture.
Okay.
It was a tincture, and I gave her a tincture of it under her tongue, and then the last message on my voicemail is, "Can I take more? I won't overdose, right? Can I take more?" And then she's like, "'Cause it helps me sleep. Thank you." And seriously, like that, it made me feel better, that I was able to give her that comfort, because we all go, it's an inevitable thing. My mom was, she was stage 4 cancer. We knew she was going to go,
but she fought it off a couple times.
She fought cancer twice, and the third time was what got her, because it had spread throughout her whole body. But at the same time, cannabis, this plant we all love, and this plant that everybody here is listening to, because we're the Canna Kuyas, and I'm Canna Kuya ride or die, bro, like forever, because cannabis helped my mom feel better at the end of her life.
Yeah.
And made and like my dad, I didn't really. I cried a lot when my mom passed, of course, but I didn't cry harder than when my dad told me it was the only medicine she wanted to take at the end, because it was the only one that was making her feel better. And that made me feel really good, but it also made me feel really bad because I was like, man, we should have just been giving this to her. She should have been doing this 6 months ago. But you know, things happen the way they happen, and that's how it was supposed to be.
So it was always RSO. Like your mom never had like edible, like actual like candy.
No, she had edibles, but there was a point at one point towards the end she couldn't chew.
She couldn't eat it.
She couldn't chew it anymore. She couldn't eat it anymore. Oh. So the RSO was really the only way to administer. And like I said, I wish that I had done it 6 months ago. I wish I had done it 3 months, whatever it was. But you know, there's only so much we do, and there's only so many things that we can control. But you know,
yeah,
at least you were able to give, and that, like I said, cannabis is part of that, and it was really helpful to me to know that. And I gotta still finish the book Rebel Apothecary, but what I've read so far I would recommend to anybody who's going through that type of thing, whether it's, you know, their parents or their grandparents or whoever it is. You know, think about RSO as an option for them to help them find some comfort, because it really did help with my mom.
Yeah, no, there are tons of benefits, and we've talked about it at length in past episodes. Cannabis, it's used in the treatment of all sorts of conditions, everything from PTSD to epilepsy, dealing with cancer, helping with like pain mitigation, all that. So like there are a lot of benefits, and one thing we got to remember is that in the US we can't study it because it's still classified as a drug, and so like we can't keep track of it like unless it's for medicinal purposes. Not unlike like Europe and Australia, they've been running like cannabis research. Canada also, they've been running a bunch of stuff to see what the actual medicinal benefits of this plant are. And you know, like if you guys, if any of our listeners out there use cannabis in any medicinal capacity, let us know. Like, how does it help you? How does it affect your life? How do you incorporate it, or like how are you doing it? Because I'm pretty sure, like, if we could hear from you, there's somebody out there that's going through something and they haven't found the answer yet. You might be able to help somebody out.
That's kind of what we're here for, man, because it's my medicine. You know, I call it my medicine. If you listen to episode 1, and now we're on episode 41, if you look back at episode 1, I've called this plant my medicine from day one, and it is my medicine because it's a medicine. It's a plant that, if you believe in a higher power, God, whatever, the universe, whatever you believe, like, this plant is here for us. We have an endocannabinoid system in our bodies that communicates with this plant, like literally communicates with the elements in this plant. So it's really a magical thing, and that's part of why I'm so happy that, you know, now I talk about the harvest and the grow update, because we got a whole bunch of DJ Short Blueberry now.
So
your favorite, according to you, from the end of the year, you're one of your favorite strains.
No, it is. It's a solid strain. Like it tastes good. It lasts a while. Like, it doesn't make you dumb, or it could. I mean, but
if you smoke too much of it.
Yeah, but it's mellow. It's like it's a very
it's a very nice indica.
Yeah,
because there are some indicas that can be very heavy, and you can feel almost too heavy.
Yeah, you just want to go to sleep.
Whereas this is a nice indica where it's very relaxing. It's very chill, but it's also very tasty, and like you said, it lasts a long time. Yeah. Like, I smoked some in the morning, and then I was going to pack another bowl and smoke another one. I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm still good. I'm still pretty stoned right now, so I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. And the duration of the DJ Short Blueberry is what really makes it a quality strain. Is that when you smoke it, you're high for a minute. You're good for you feel good for a long while.
I think if I could describe the blueberry in a word, it would be consistent, because we're talking about like how long it lasts, right? But in terms of like the effect, it's a consistent effect from start to finish. Mm-hmm. It's not like some other weeds where like you'll smoke it, like you'll have that initial like, oh wow, I'm really high, and then after that like it turns into something else, and like it becomes like, you know, like for example it'll turn into a body high, and then like it morphs, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like for the blueberry, it's, you know, like it's the same effect for however long every single time.
Yeah, it's very consistent. Well, and I think he bred it. If you listen to his stories about, you know, DJ Short and how he, you know, bred the original blueberry, you know, that he bred it for those things.
Is he? Well, hold on. Sorry, this is a dumb question, but was he an actual DJ, or is that his name? His name is DJ.
DJ, yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, his name is DJ. I think it's like Dennis Johnson or some white shit. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's DJ is his name. He's not an actual DJ.
No, that's fine. I was just like,
but it does make it sound like a cool ass fucking DJ.
Yeah,
DJ Short.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was DJ Short. Like, or I thought it was Too Short.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
but no, it's his name is DJ, I believe.
Okay. It's not Disc Jockey Short.
No, it's Disc Jockey. It's not. He's not gonna have a mixtape out with his weed strain.
Oh, okay. Have you seen
the Mendo dope? That's the Mendo boys.
Speaking of, you know, like mixtapes or whatever, have you seen like there's like certain like weed brands that have CD packaging? Have you seen that? It's either like an eighth in a plastic bag that's shaped like a CD, so it's like they pass those out. Or I've seen the ones where it's like an actual hardcover, right? And then when you open it up, there's like a little baggie inside. It looks like it's like a video game, or like a.
Boo to all marketing of shitty weed.
I guess.
Boo.
Whatever. Like, don't tell me like if you couldn't find.
Why don't you tell the listeners the story of your friend who you've been supplying with my weed, and what they said when they went back to the dispensary?
Oh yeah, so like I've been, you know, I've been giving my homies around me, like, you know, it's a trickle down weed, like.
Don't ever use that term with me, trickle down. I don't believe in that shit. That's voodoo economics.
No, but you know, like, you know, I'm a firm believer in sharing the wealth, right? Like, I have enough weed, you know, like I don't need to like hoard it. So like if you're around me and I know you smoke, like I'll be like, all right, let's do this, right? So I've been giving my homies some, and recently, because I haven't seen Eric in like a month, so I haven't been able to like.
I've been paralyzed.
Yeah. So I haven't been, you know, my hook went down. But
he's out of commission for a little bit.
He's out of commission. But yeah, like I've been giving him stuff, and then they recently had to go to the dispensary to buy whatever they had to buy. And I hung out with them the other day, and they were like, "Hey, man, like we've been spoiled by Eric. Like we didn't realize, you know, like we had a lot of weed, and it lasted a very long time, and it was good, right? And they were like, I didn't realize how fresh it actually was, you know, compared to like what people pick up. And I had that same experience, because I had to go to the dispensary because I ran out of weed, and like I was looking at stuff and the dates, right? Like the dates on, like, you know, whenever it was harvested versus how long it, you know, like I guess they don't have a best buy date, right?
Right.
But it's like you can tell how old it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff on the shelves was like over 6 months old. And then like the new stuff that was like, you know, supposed to be the fresh batch, right? Like still pretty old, right? So like that's why stuff goes on sale, because, you know, it's like it's old, it's losing its.
It's only got like a 6 month to a year shelf life.
Yeah, and then it loses its like efficacy.
And especially if you're not storing it properly, it's gonna Yeah, it'll break down and it won't be as good.
No, but like, so the stuff I bought, and like, you know, like I didn't want to, I'm a firm, like, I don't need to buy like top shelf. I don't like to pay top shelf prices because like it ends up becoming like 60 to 80 for an eighth.
It's too much money.
Right? Because I don't have
It's too expensive.
I don't have a medicinal medicinal license. I don't have one of those.
No, all medicinal license does for you at the dispensary really is kind of take away at the tax.
Yeah, no, and that's why. So I pay whatever, like what
Which
it's
the
like.
tax is a lot of money, but it's still
No, but tax is almost like 25%.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's a lot, but it's still a chunk of money to buy an eighth of weed for $60.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
No, and then like, you know,
And then it doesn't turn out to be as good as it's advertised.
no, a lot of the stuff that I picked up was it's dense, it's hard, but it's dry.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's good that it's dry, I guess, because, I mean, this DJ Short Blueberry is a little bit, you know, I thought 5 days was going to be long enough early, and with the first one that I did, and obviously it was too early, it was so moist. And then I waited 7 and all the way through it because I had a number of plants trimming, so it took me a number of days to trim it all. So it was, you know, from 7 to 10 days on all the plants they had to dry, and they're still so moist and sticky. And I'm not mad. Obviously, I want it to be that way, but at the same time, DJ Short Blueberry as a strain has really taught me how to cure better, and it's teaching me how to cure, especially a really moist, dense weed, because it's good weed, but it has to be cured properly. And
Yeah,
if
it
it's
needs
not cured properly. It's gonna be a struggle to smoke it.
Yeah, like I think the blueberry needs just a little more air. You know what I mean? Like, because like, you know, like different types of weed smoke different ways, right? Like, you know, older, drier weed is always best for like joints, you know, like, or, you know, blunts or whatever, right? Like you want those nice, you know, like spongy nugs for like bongs or bigger pieces and stuff like that. And like I think like for the blueberry, it just needs to aerate just a little bit, because
you grind it and then you let it air for a little while, and then you smoke it.
Yeah.
And then also I found interesting. The one plant, the mother plant, the mother plant of all the other that I just harvested, dumped more keef in a jar. I still have the jar of that keef.
Yeah.
That one plant dumped more keef than all those other plants. Those plants didn't dump any keef at all.
Yeah, but then we were saying that's okay because that just means it's in the bud.
Yeah, it's not in the bud. It didn't fall. And I was really careful about trimming it because it was really leafy for some reason. It was very, like, if you look at the Jack Herrera and even the Jedi cookies to some extent in the other tent, they're not as leafy. You can see the bud. Mm-hmm. Where there were some portions of the blueberry where it was all leaf. It was like a lot of leaf. It was really interesting, just to see the different structure of the bud and the different structure of the plant. Because there's a lot of nice, good buds in there, but there were also a lot of little buds surrounded by a bunch of leaf. Very interesting.
You think that has anything to do with... because those are the ones you started in the tent, right?
No, those are all in the tent.
Those are all in the tent?
All through on the tent.
Which one was the one that's like it started in the tent and then you moved it to the greenhouse?
Those are the ones that I just cut down that are in there. They're drying now. They were in the greenhouse just recently, but they were in the Buddha Lounge right by the window of the Buddha Lounge, so there wasn't like an overtop light.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think that's why they grew out that way, because the buds on those are very small and very airy.
Sparse,
and the Jedi cookies, there's almost no buds at all. It's just kind of trichome covered leaves, which is weird. So I'm gonna try and salvage it by washing both of the plants, or all 4 of the plants. I'm not gonna try and trim that bud because there's not much bud to trim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and, because I bought those We can do this on Instagram. We could shoot a video about it. But I'm gonna do my first wash, where I just use a ice bubble hash, where I just do you do the plant material, put it in, mix it with the hash bags, and then ice, mix it in the buckets with a wooden spoon, like old traditional hash makers.
Like you're churning butter.
Yeah, and then strain the bags and scrape out the hash and freeze it, and then do all the things that I got to do to make those little temple balls. Hopefully, I have a temple ball afterwards, because I might not even have a temple ball. Because
what is a temple ball?
A temple ball is so after you're done with freezing the trichomes that you've harvested from the bubble bags, right?
Yeah.
You freeze it, and then you kind of you shred it to make it like a powder, but then you put it in between wax paper, and you melt it with like hot water, or like a hot water bottle type of thing.
Oh.
And you melt it so it's like waxy, and then you roll that wax, and then that wax becomes your temple ball, and that's a temple ball of hash. And that's what you store that. You put that in like wax paper or a jar, and you store that where you would store your weed, and you age it, and the longer you age it, the better it gets.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And that's a traditional hash temple ball. And so that's what I'm going to do for all those plants that weren't bud, but there's still trichomes on there. There's still stuff on there. When you went into the greenhouse, those plants were still loud as hell.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you couldn't smell them. So there's something on them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and harvest them, even though I won't probably get any bud, and I'll probably only get maybe 2 or 3 grams of a temple ball, or 2 or 3 grams of hash. So what? I still did it, and now I learned the process, and I'll do it again. And I can repeat the process later on when I have even better weed from the other outdoor weed that's growing and looking much better than that weed is. Like the strawberry, I have strawberry cough still going in there. Another round of DJ Short Blueberry in the outside, and then a Jack Herrera plant and 2 Jedi cookies, which all look better than their predecessors from in the greenhouse. So
you have a bunch of like saplings too, or sproutlings.
Yeah, I popped a bunch of seeds. I got chicken and waffles and blueberry muffin from Humble Seed Company, and then the Legend crossed with Gelato 33 from Buds and Roses seeds. And then
you had the pineapple.
And then the pineapple OG is those were freebies from the autoflower that I got. And then I got the jelly donuts autoflowers that are coming along. They'll probably be ready by next month.
The Durban poison didn't make it.
No, Durban poison didn't make it at all. I popped 6 different seeds of that Durban poison, and each of the seedlings died.
Huh.
Yeah, it was hard to grow. The seedlings were even hard to grow.
Huh.
So I'm not sure, and it might have been that they were autoflowers. It might have been that it was cold. There's a lot of factors to why.
It has been cold though.
Yeah, but it's been really, but that's fine. That's probably why. If you look on our Instagram, you'll see that there's a lot of purples. We've never seen purples before, and there's a lot of purples. Even the pineapple OG, one of them is super purple, and then the other one is like kind of purple, only a little bit purple, and then there was some of even the Jedi cookies outside, so it started going purple. But unfortunately, it went purple, but there was no buds on it.
So you got purple leaves.
I got purple leaves. That's what I got. Grew a bunch of purple leaves, which that's what happens. I feel like. I feel like in the case of the Jedi cookies, I cloned. There were 2 seeds that went good. One was a short, squat plant that harvested really good weed, and then one was a really weird leafy thing that was super big, but even as the buds were forming, they were leafy, and then they got mildew, and I had to cut that plant and throw it away, remember? Mm-hmm. And so we're dealing with clones from both of those plants.
Yeah.
And so some of the plants are going to end up being leafy like that one that, and I think that's what happened with these two, is they were the leafy kind, and then they had factors with growing by the window versus growing in the greenhouse and all the other stuff. So they had a lot of factors where they would never have reached their potential, I don't think. But the ones that are growing inside, in comparison, under the lights, I mean, they're looking just like we normally would expect. They look really good.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to harvest those in a couple of weeks. I not a couple of weeks, probably in a couple of days. So probably by next week I'm going to cut those down. So once those are not even drying, I might just cut those and freeze them and then
Do your thing.
Because I want to learn how to do it anyway, and no time like the present to start learning. I bought the bags. All I really have to do is buy a couple more $5 bucket, 5-gallon buckets, and then some bags of ice and a couple. I probably use some filtered water, like some distilled water, so that it's clean, and then go to town.
I'm interested to see what that.
Yeah, if you want, bring your camera so we can film it, and then I can do the process. Maybe you think the weekend would be better in the morning.
Yeah, just depending.
Yeah, but anyway, we could do it, and then I could plan it out to where I freeze the plants, and then the next day we shoot it, and we figure out how much bubble hash we get.
I'm still trying to figure out, why do they call it like this is just me just being hung up as a...
No idea. That would be something you would have to Google, because I don't have that.
A temple ball?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I already contemplated a Frenchy Cannoli tattoo, because his logo is fierce. It's like this top of a skull. It's really super cool. But until I start making hash in the French cannoli way, I'm not going to be a poser and just get a Frenchy Cannoli tattoo.
What? Hold on. This is
Frenchy Cannoli is one of the guys who innovated hash making, and he does it with if you don't know about Frenchy Cannoli, guys, and you're listening to this podcast, just Google Frenchy Cannoli or Frenchy Cannoli on YouTube, and he has a whole tutorial on how to make bubble hash from cannabis plant material.
No, because I know that there's going to be at least one person listening. They're like, no, that's that Italian dessert.
No, that's it's a cannoli is an Italian dessert, but Frenchy Cannoli is the guy.
Yeah, it's just for France.
No, he's the guy who specializes, and he was from France. He had a very thick French accent. But if you're interested in learning how to make hash, you should watch the Frenchy Cannoli videos. They're very interesting because they're like really cool shot, and then there's this French guy with this French accent, and he's talking about the hash. It's fucking good. It's cool. You should watch him. I've literally, he's so good. I'm contemplating getting a tattoo of his logo on my shit. So
I'm gonna look this.
It's cool. He's a cool dude. Very cool.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to start learning how to make hash, because why not? I got enough plant material to do it. And I can't get anything else out of this leafy, weird bud, so I might as well try.
No, but that's what big manufacturers do anyways. Like
Exactly.
anytime they have like their older shake, they just press it down, and then that's what like they
and
used
as
to...
good a grower is, you're going to get this weed that you can't get really good bud out of.
Yeah.
That just happens. It just happens sometimes.
No, but that's what any like big manufacturer does. Like they'll take all the shake, the stuff they can't really smoke, process it, and then like that's what they infuse the joints with.
Yeah. I mean, even if I just chop it all up and make it into compost, it's still going to go back into the, you know what I mean? It's still going to, I'm still going to use it. So, I mean, all of it is, like I said, I'm hoping to get a bunch of hash. That'd be great. But if I don't, it's also cool, because it's all a learning process. And that's what's, again, like, to bring it back to all what we were talking about, because we're around about 30 minutes now. But this garden has provided me so much, like in it's my, you know, like, speaking of like pop culture, we talk about pop culture, right? But like the Superman movie, and I'm looking forward to that, and also looking forward to the Captain America new movie. But like that, Superman had a fortress of solitude where if he needed to go there, if all the shit was all the drama was running around, and he would chill. That Buddha Lounge has become that for me, especially with all the drama that's been going in my life so far. So yes, if you grow your own, you will save money at the dispensary. If you grow your own, you will get more connected with the weed that you smoke. But also, when you grow your own, you will provide yourself a place of peace.
Endless hours of entertainment,
bro. It's amazing. It's amazing how much growing has not changed my life.
Yeah, I know. I used to have chia pets. You know, like
Bitch,
I've seen that. I know what it's like.
You're comparing growing delicious cannabis plants to chia pets?
Tell me what's the difference.
Nothing.
I just
you can't smoke chia.
Yeah, you can. Or you can.
Can you make chai tea from chia?
I don't even know. Is that where chai tea goes from?
No, I don't think it is.
Chia and chai.
I've looked at real chai tea, like authentic chai, and it doesn't look like chia pets.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
chia sprouts.
Chia seeds. Yeah.
Chia seeds. Like, I don't. Why are we talking about chia seeds at a cannabis podcast? Just because we're both stoned?
Yeah, but we're just talking about growing plants.
No, I love. No, but you know, and to kind of bring it back, the person that gave me all the plants in my backyard and all the plants, because my dad hated the fact that my mom filled their old balcony with plants and house plants.
Yeah.
Like she didn't grow any like I would be like, Mom, why don't you grow some cucumbers or lettuce? And no, I just like my plants. I love my plants. So she loved me. She gave me the love of growing plants.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just decided to grow plants that I can use. And now I grow the plants that I use every day.
Nice.
But yeah, man.
It's a good legacy.
And all the new plants you see in the Buddha Lounge are all the plants that survived and that are part of my mom's old plant collection. So I'm gonna try and keep those, give those as much love. I just gave them rooted leaf nutrients to make sure that they stay healthy and thriving. So I'll grow my mom's plants with the same amount of love that I grow the cannabis plants. The same amount of love that I grow. If you've seen the video on our Instagram at Canna Kuyas, there's a video where I talk about how I'm growing this butter.
Yeah, those look strong.
Bro, I wish because my wife doesn't. I'll tell her that I cut down the stinky, you know, the very stinky Jedi cookies and Jack Herrera cannabis plants, and you should come look at your lettuce, because this lettuce is, bro, my green thumbs, both of them, they're both Dr. Green Thumbs right here, bro. Nice. I'm excited about it. No,
nice.
But
this man's got produce in the greenhouse.
Well, I'm trying to, because look, you guys sleep on. We don't got to get too political, but let's just say my mom passed away on January 21st, 2025, and I feel like she saw that inauguration. She was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
I don't want to be around for this bullshit.
I'm not around for this bullshit. I already escaped one dictator in the Philippines, and Ferdinand Marcos. I'm not dealing with this motherfucker. But we got to watch out for our cannabis rights with this dude. We got to watch out under this new administration, because he just appointed a person who is a opponent of cannabis as the new drugs are, and canceled the rescheduling of cannabis. So things are up in the air again when it comes to our rights as cannabis growers and cannabis users. So I'll watch your back, you watch mine, okay?
For real. Like, like, it doesn't even have to be cannabis related. Just look out for each other, folks.
Yeah, look out for each other. Stay and you know, be good to each other, because you never know how long you have, and life is very short.
It's very precious. Well, You've been listening to the Canna Kuyas podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. Again, I'm Mitch Narito.
And I am Eric Esteban. And, you know, as always, all the marijuana ates and Canna Kuyas, stay elevated.
Stay lifted.
Whoa.
Peace, y'all.
Don't forget to rate and subscribe.
Got the. Yeah, I got my hoodie on, now peep the chest as human catalyst. Downtown Chula Vista, on 3rd Ave where I go cop some shit. Fuck a thief, so fuck zoomies, yeah, they whack ass jacket shit. Yeah, I move too swift, so I striking silence. Fuck the violence, man, check my mileage, cause I got driving. First tour, I drove 6 states, never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, build an enterprise, move supersize. Y'all that shit like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize, yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too dope, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Gang, highest in the room, yo, we get fucked up. Ay, you can count on Trey, Cap, bring the loud pack. Ay, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run. Yeah, get the up or leave the fuck a Folgers. Little bitch, I made the beat and dropped the full verse. I just hit a steelo, I got dripped up. Package born and raised, bitch, I got dripped up. Y no se compara. Yo estoy con mi pana, se llama Trega, fumando ganja. Estamos con Cali, fumando en Cali, yo sé que traen ganas. Ella me dice, papi, que terminamos la cama. Highest in the room, yeah, we get fucked up. Ay, you can count on Trey, Cap, bring the loud pack. Ay, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run.
Yeah, we got hits like Tatis and Machado. Man, we know you're not a leader, cause all our moves you just follow, packing big bowls. You know we just scooped up that gelato, cause I smoke killer. My shirt iller, yo, ask our dealer, we the highest in the room. Just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too dope, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Highest in the room, yeah, we get fucked up. Ay, you can count on Trey, Cap, bring the loud pack. Ay, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a